Hafiz TV, unique every day.
We chose none other person but the CEO for the Zongo Development Fund to come and explain to us the purpose of gathering and a welcome address. Because it's an Islamic program, all of this will run as applause, but with a big Atabir, let's welcome Al-Haji Arafa. Atabir.
With the powers vested in me this morning, let me begin by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Honorable Chairman Ben Abdallah, Coordinator for Inner City and Zongo Development Secretariat, who is the Chairman of the campaign team, Chiefs, Imams, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my legitimate duty for the day is to say welcome to you. But you will all bear with me that can't do that without saying a word or two before saying the official welcome. So with your indulgence, let me say I'm honored to have the opportunity to deliver the initial remarks at the maiden edition of the Gaskiya Zongo Forum, which is aimed at accounting for our stewardship of the transformational Zongo Development Fund. The choice of the name Gaskiya Zongo Forum, you bear with me, underscores the immense importance we attach to this medium. In our continuing commitment to the establishment of all the synergies through a shared vision of development, progress, and prosperity in our Zongo communities. You will all bear with me again that even as we mark 7 years of unmatched development in the Zongo communities through the tireless support of the man of the moment, His Excellency Al-Haji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we must appreciate that there is still much, much more to be done. I wish, therefore, on behalf of the campaign team, on behalf of the number 2 and the flag bearer, to make a passionate appeal to all and sundry brothers and sisters to support in elevating the only one we have at the moment. I'm referring to Al-Haji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. We do whatever we can for our families, for our might, for our prayer support, everything to make sure his mission, our mission, everybody's mission is accomplished. It is on this note that I wish to say in all humility, chiefs, imams, youth, magajia, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome to the maiden, as you can see, and the job will be delivered passionately by our chairman, the coordinator, and the chairman of the campaign team. I rest here as I take my seat I say again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
As I told you earlier, this is not really a very short program, but very packed. And we are now at the zenith of the program. And we will invite the guest speaker to come and do a presentation. After the presentation, we see the projects we have been able to do throughout. And as I said earlier, we are here to tell the elephant story from 1992. We will unmask and know which political party loves the people of Zongo and Muslims at large. We will start unpacking from 1992 what we have been able to do with Muslims, what we have been able to do with Northerners, what we have been able to do with the Zongo people. So we'll start from there, then we zero it on 7 years ago of the Zongo Development Fund, a dream by Dr. Bawumia, which was put in the manifesto in 2008. Today, it has materialized and we can see the project vis-a-vis. This is something the Vice President has been touting, saying that we have done over 200 projects in the Zongo communities. Program packed today, I mean, they all want to recommend that for this Munzo de Muna, I mean, the NPPH in Zongo, children intended to marry. Ama, Muslimi, the Muslims of Hawaii, so as to say, I'm one. Sana ugani walipati ya kamata muluka mulusa cheusa ile kamata kama na mishini mkubwa projects in the Dr. Bawumia kulenge fanya yeche ungilele 200 sababu inshallah we are vision. So without much ado, I will really invite the guest speaker. He is 23 times member of parliament for Office South, so he's from the Ashanti region. Again, he was whilst in parliament, because he's a lawyer, he was the chairman of the Constitutional and Legal Committee in parliament. Again, because he's an avid Muslim and a passionate Muslim, he became the chairman of the Muslim cause in parliament. After that, after he left parliament, he was appointed as the presidential coordinator. I am sure here he will explain to us the movement from Zongo ministry to coordinator for the Zongo Development, because this is something that everyone has been asking. That why is it that now we don't have a Zongo ministry but we have a coordinator? So this will be really explained in details. Again, he is the chairman of the National Hajj Board. When Dr. Bawumia was looking for someone to head a campaign for him within the Zongo communities and Muslim communities, if you have someone with these credentials, I don't think you'll be able to really bypass him and pick anyone. So he is now the chairman of the Bawumia for President Zongo National Campaign Team Chairperson. He's not another person but Ben Abdullah Banda. Let's welcome him. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري وحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Good morning. Is it good afternoon? This is a joy and a privilege, a rare privilege, to be standing before our revered Malams and Imams, our pretty women from the Zongo communities, and our hard-working pressmen and women, and the National Zongo competing, not forgetting our distinguished chiefs, to deliver a message, to tell the story of the MPP under the leadership of His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, and to set the record straight. While doing this, I'll be glad to take you on a journey of history as far back as 1979 till now, whilst we try to do comparative analysis, NDC and MPP, who has done better. Distinguished members of the press, fellow Ghanaians, and representatives of the Zongo communities across our beloved country, I greet you with the blessed greetings of the dominant religion in our Zongo. As I said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I will pray that we remain seated with the greatest of respect and become patient, because the presentation will take a bit of time, because it is lengthy. It is lengthy, justifiably so, because it is a journey from as far back as 1979 till now. On behalf of His Excellency, Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, Vice President and the presidential candidate of the new Patriotic Party, I welcome you to this important forum. The Gaskiya Forum, which is being launched today with a maiden edition here in Ghana. The Gaskiya Forum, as the name implies, is a forum by the Bawumia for President 2024 National Zongo Campaign for the presentation of facts and incontrovertible data. More importantly, it is also a platform we have created to account to the good people of Ghana the stewardship of the MPP as far as Zongo development is concerned, and the way forward under the future of government of Alhaji Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia from January 2025, inshallah. Our flag bearer and our party believe that elections should be about issues, data, and records, not propaganda and insult. Therefore, the Gaskiya Forum presents a decent platform of engagement with stakeholders from the Zongo community. Today, we gather to reflect on the tangible achievement of the new Patriotic Party in Zongo communities in the Fourth Republic under the government of President John Ablekuma between 2001 and 2009, and the President Akufu and President Akufo-Addo, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, between 2017 and now. We will also look at the history and extent of state support for sustainable development for the Zongo community and draw comparisons with the National Democratic Congress, NDC, which has had enormous support from the Zongo community in the Fourth Republic. Finally, I will also address the remarkable impact His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic and the NPP presidential candidate, has had on the country and on Zongo communities with his limited role as Vice President in the government of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. After 11 years of military dictatorship under the PMDC, during which multi-party democracy was outlawed or banned, Ghana returned to democratic rule with the President Republic, the Fourth Republic, following the 1992 elections. Throughout the Fourth Republic, the new Patriotic Party has demonstrated a sincere commitment to strengthening the diversity of our country by building an inclusive party and society. This is evident by the remarkable diversity of the party's presidential ticket, which has always presented to Ghanaians a mix of North-South and Christian-Muslim tickets, which beautifully reflects the diversity of the Ghanaian society across board. This act of mixing North-South and Christian-Muslim ticket is intended to promote interfaith harmony and consolidate social cohesion. Let me start from the PFP era, 1979, when Victor Owusu was the party's flag bearer. The PFP is the predecessor party of the New Patriotic Party. At that time, we appointed or nominated as a grandmate to Victor Owusu, Tom Na Alhaji Yakubu Al-Hassan Tari. In 1992, when Professor Dubois was the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, the party, in its wisdom and in line with this custom, nominated lawyer Roland Yusuf from the North, who was a Muslim, in 1992. In the year 2000, the party nominated His Excellency Alhaji Aliyu Muhammad, the late. And in 2004, former President John Ajaki Kufuor again nominated the late His Excellency Alhaji Aliyu Muhammad, who was a Muslim. In 2008, Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo, together with the New Patriotic Party, nominated the current Vice President and the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, one of our own, Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia. This was repeated in 2012, it was repeated in 2016, and it was also repeated in 2020. In spite of the relentless plot to represent the MPP as a tribalistic party, the party has maintained this beautiful unifying spectre 7 times out of the 8 presidential elections that have been held in the 4th Republic. This has today resulted in the historic election of Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia as the first Muslim to be elected by a leading political party in the history of Ghana to a presidential election, a party dominated by Christians. More than 70 to 80% of the members of the New Patriotic Party are Christians. Thus, notwithstanding, when His Excellency, the Vice President, went into the presidential primaries, he came out victorious. That explains why he is the presidential candidate for the New Patriotic Party. Before this history, on November 3 last year, the MPP, thanks to its unifying traits and respect for diversity, had given Ghana her first ever highest ranked Muslim politician, the late Vice President, Alhaji Aliyu Muhammad, who became Vice President for 2 terms. For so many years in the history of Ghana, Zongo and inner cities were classified among the least privileged communities in Ghana, with little attention from successive governments since independence for sustainable development. In the 4th Republic since 1992, only 2 parties, the NDC and the MPP, under 5 different presidents have had opportunity to lead the country. The return to democratic rule in 1993, after 11 years of military rule, saw a rise in support for the NDC in the Zangos. Election after election, the Zongo community voted massively for the NDC, leading to the election of 3 different NDC regimes, the Rawlings, the Mills, and Mahama regimes. And this dates back from 1992 election, 1992, 1996, 2000, 2004, 2012 elections, 2016 elections, and 2020 elections. In all these successive elections, our brethren, our brothers and sisters, the Zangos, demonstrated unflinching loyalty and support and voted massively for the NDC. The people of Zongo, In spite of the overwhelming support it continues to offer, the NDC post-Jerry John Rawlings administration have had little to show in terms of tangible development by the two subsequent NDC regimes after Rawlings' regime ended in 2000. In other words, Zangos cannot boast of any deliberate attempt by the NDC to cause positive change in their lives. After 19 years of the PNDC and the NDC in power, the MPP won the 2000 election and Mr. John Ablekuma was elected president. Remarkably, Alhaji Ali Umama became the first Muslim vice president of Ghana, representing a huge honor for the Zongo community. Prior to this historic moment, the NDC had always played tribal politics in the Zongo, negatively branding the MPP as an anti-Muslim and anti-Zongo party. In fact, despite having a Muslim running mate in Alhaji Ali Umama, the NDC told the people of Zongo not to vote for the MPP because the party would sack members of the Zongo community from Ghana. But by the grace of God, the MPP won the election and the people of Zongo continue to live peacefully and enjoy their rights as Ghanaians. Despite receiving little support from Zongo, the government of President Kufuor demonstrated the MPP inclusiveness by deciding to, for the first time in the history of Ghana, pay allowances for Malamei Makaranta, what is now called Arabic instructors allowances. The promotion of the teaching of the Arabic language and lessons in Makaranta by the state is critical to the understanding of the Islamic teachings and to prevent the misinterpretation of the teachings which leads to violent extremism and terrorism in the sub-region. Arabic language can also be a source of livelihood as the world has become a global community. As a matter of policy, and to demonstrate the government's commitment and sustainability, the Kufuor government decided to channel the payment of these teachers through the voluntary national service scheme. In fact, this happened despite Ghana being declared HEPIC. It showed the commitment of the MPP to the development of Zangos through education. Following the NDC's return to power in 2008, with John Evans Atamos as president and John Dramani Mama as vice president, the novelty payment of Arabic teachers or instructors, which the MPP introduced to help Zongo communities, was cancelled. It was indeed a sad decision by the NDC, a party that received tremendous support from the Zongo, from the people of Zongo, and a party that claims to love the people of Zongo. All appeals for the allowances to be restored were rejected. Again, after the NDC won the 2012 election and His Excellency John Dramani Mama was elected president with support from the Zangos, the new NDC regime led by John Dramani Mama, former president, still refused to restore the Makaranta teachers' allowances. Appeals by imams, Zongo chiefs and Zongo stakeholders to the government of the former president John Dramani Mama to restore the cancelled allowances were flatly rejected by the Mahama-led NDC. Again, for a party that claims to love the people of Zangos, it was really instructive that the NDC cancelled the Makaranta teachers' allowances and refused to restore same for 8 good years while in power. Paying Arabic instructors, Makaranta teachers, was a well-thought-through program by the MPP, which meant so much to Zongo stakeholders. The monthly payment of stipends to instructors was to sustain them and enable them to continue teaching in the Makarantas. It was also a deliberate policy to strengthen the Makarantas and ensure students always have teachers available to impart knowledge to them. Having it cancelled by the NDC, a party that claims to love Zangos, was really an insult to the stakeholders of Zangos. Our revered chiefs, imams, members here present, the press, prior to the 2008 elections, The only paragraph that had Zongo passively mentioned by the NDC was, and I quote, the NDC as a party with strong support in slums and in sprawling shanty towns, including Zongos, will adopt an upgrading in place approach consisting of improving existing infrastructure and facilities up to satisfactory standards, including addressing issues relating to tenure. This was the only promise of the NDC to the people of Zongo in 2008. As to what exactly they meant by that promise, no one could tell. In other words, in the 2008 manifesto of the NDC, they promised to improve slums in Ghana, including slums in our Zongo communities. Though they won the election, this promise of the NDC to improve slums in Ghana, including Zongos, never saw the light of day. Little did we know that the only action they were committed to undertaking for the people of the Zongo was the cruel cancellation of the Makaranta teachers or Arabic instructors allowance. While still in power in 2012, that is the NDC, and contesting for re-election, having served the unfinished term of the late Professor Atta Mills, former President John Dramani Mahama abandoned the NDC's vague 2008 promise and made new promises in his 2012 manifesto titled Advancing the Better Ghana Agenda. The NDC and President Mahama promised the expansion of equitable access to technical and vocational education and training, that's TVET, by locating such institutions in the Zongos and underserved areas of urban communities and increasing the participation of disadvantaged groups through a bursary scheme for disadvantaged students with special focus on female students and the provision of stipends for identified apprentices. This promise to the people of Zongo by the NDC and President Mahama, when he was given the opportunity to be president, was not fulfilled. In other words, the NDC, prior to the 2012 elections, did promise to the people in Zongos that when they won the election, they will build TVET institutions, vocational and technical institutions in Zongos. After winning the elections, they intentionally forgot about it. After hoodwinking the Zongo people, they failed, neglected, or refused to make good their promise. After not fulfilling its campaign promise to the people of Zongo as president, Mr. Mahama and the NDC returned again with yet another promise for the 2016 elections. The NDC and then President Mahama again abandoned their unfulfilled 2012 promises and moved to another one, which states that the NDC will continue to consolidate and expand the interventions that have been implemented over the last 4 years and introduce additional social protection initiatives to sustain the livelihood of the vulnerable and lift others out of poverty. The question one will ask is what was specifically done for the people of the Zongo by Mr. John Dramani Mahama in the NDC that they will have consolidated and built on, under which policy? It was nothing but another vague promise aimed at hoodwinking the people of Zongo. Thankfully, the people of Zongo, after committing to supporting the NDC for years, saw the endless deceit and decided enough was enough. This culminated in overwhelming rejection of the NDC across the nation and many Zongos in 2016, leading to the renaissance of the NPP in the Zongos due to the party's respect for diversity, clarity, and policies and commitment to Zongo development. Having emerged on the political scene in 2007 Following his divine selection as Grand Meet to then candidate Nana Addo Dankwa Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, as a young person who had been elevated to that level, was a source of inspiration to many young people in the Zongos. As a young economist and banker at the peak of his career, Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia knew exactly what it required to ensure sustainable development for the country and the less privileged community of which he was a member, and he's still a member. It was therefore not surprising when he proposed many development policies into the manifestos of the NDC, of the MPP, in presidential campaigns of 2008, 2012, 2016, and 2020. One of such initiatives was his proposal for the establishment of the Zongo Development Fund, which the MPP first announced in its 2012 manifesto and repeated same in its victorious 2016 manifesto. Development involves a conscious effort at changing the life of the poor and vulnerable in the society. We in the MPP understand that governance and politics are expected to cause positive change, and when electors endorse the party in the manner the good people of Ghana overwhelmingly returned the MPP to power in 2016, we had no excuse than to cause positive change. The MPP had a pact with the people of Zongo to establish a historic special purpose fund for the sustainable development of the Zongos as promised in the manifesto. After assuming office in 2017, President Nana Addo Dankwa was committed and eager to immediately commence the NPP's Zongo Development Pact with the people of Zongo. To start with the processes which will lead to the enactment of the Zongo Development Fund Act by Parliament, the President established the Ministry for Zongo and Inner Cities to initiate the process and also lead consultations with Zongo stakeholders for views towards the drafting of the Act. The Ministry was also tasked to start the immediate development of Zongos, which saw initial projects in some Zongos being undertaken by the Ministry of Zongo and Inner Cities. Following the successful establishment of the Zongo Development Fund through parliamentary acts, the dream of establishing a historic statutory vehicle for Zongo Development Fund has been achieved. Per the Zongo Development Fund Act 964, the fund is mandated, and I quote, to provide financial resources to develop and transform the social and economic conditions of Zongo communities through investment in basic services and strategic infrastructure, financing education and training programs of the youth in Zongo communities, support for local businesses in Zongo communities, promotion of programs to support tourism, culture, and arts in Zongo communities, provision of social protection for the poor and vulnerable children, men and women in Zongo communities. If you take the time to read the mandate of the Zongo Development Fund, the provisions I have outlined, it goes without saying that its mandate is cross-cut. It's bigger, larger than the mandate of any ministry that we have in this country. The reason is very simple. Every ministry has a limited scope of mandates that it has to execute. For instance, if you take the Ministry of Finance, its mandate is finance related. If you take the Ministry of Health, its mandate is health related. If you take education, Minister of Education, its mandate is health related. But if you read the mandate of the Zongo Development Fund, it can do education related. For the sake of those who do not know much about this system's Islamic senior high schools, the Vice President through the Zongo Development Fund has secured land in all the 16 regions of Ghana. The intention is to have at least one Islamic senior high school in every region. Apart from the acquisition of the land, visibility studies have been carried out and completed, and the necessary documentation is also underway. And inshallah, when he wins the election and becomes the president of every region will benefit from one Islamic senior high school. Those who got the opportunity took the Zambos for granted and paid lip service are now desperate. Their desperation is clearly seen in their stolen promise, which is promising what the MPP promised and is already delivering with tangible benefits. The people of Zongo are also wide awake and are not in any mood for politics of lies, deceit, propaganda, their support behind Dr. Bawumia in his bid to serve the country as president. Others have had their chance with Ghana and the Zongo community. Some made good use of opportunities they got, others took God's opportunity and didn't make any impact. They squandered it. As President Nana Akufo said recently, the names of some of our leaders are synonymous with certain landmark policies. In the Zambos, the name of the late Jerry John Rawlings is synonymous with national holidays for Muslims during Eid. The name of former President John Ablekuma is synonymous with Arabic instructors allowance and others. The name of Nana Akufo is synonymous with the Zongo Development Fund and given us the gift of Dr. Bawumia. This is all we remember with our leaders who have had opportunities of being president in the Fourth Republic. Others cancelled allowances of our Makaranta teachers, and we remember them for that, perhaps. As Vice President, Dr. Bawumia has demonstrated to the people of Ghana and to the Zongo community that he is a man who cares and can be trusted to move Ghana forward and meet the aspirations of the people of Zongo in advancing healthcare, sanitation, job creation, and education, especially continuing with his vision of establishing model schools with lands already secured. With overwhelming support Dr. Bawumia has been receiving across board, it is very clear that the country is poised to demonstrate to the world that something that has never happened in Ghana will happen, inshallah, in December, to consolidate our cherished status as a country of possibilities. Before I wind this presentation up, let me also say that a lot has been said about LGBTQI+. The NDC has been using the LGBTQI+ as a propaganda tool to campaign against MPP. But let me set the record straight. It is a fact known to many of us that last year, at an Eid in the Central Mosque in Kumasi in the Ashanti region of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Alhaji Bawumia made it categorically clear that in his capacity as a vice president, and for that matter, a Muslim, he will not tolerate the practice of LGBTQI+ in this country. He said it because he's a Muslim, and he said it because the nation Ghana in its entirety condemns and abhors it. Our Christian brethren in this country have also ever come out and said unequivocally that they will not accept LGBTQI+. Even our traditionalists have also said in one way or another that their customs, traditions, etc. do not allow LGBTQI+. Ghana is a religious country. Let's assume that there isn't any law to ban LGBTQI+. Let's put the Quran aside. Let's put the Christian Bible aside. Let's also put our traditionalists, their values and etc. aside. The various values, traditions and customs of our ethnic groups in this country will not allow LGBTQI+. The values, traditions and customs of the Gombes, the Mampusis, the Sisares, the Ashantis, the Walas, the Mampusis, the Wangares, the Bandes, the Bisses, the Concombas, etc. do not allow LGBTQI+. So if anybody comes and says that because President Nana Addo has not signed the LGBTQI+, and for that matter, when NPP is re-elected, they will support LGBTQI+, then that person doesn't really know what he's saying. Because about 95 to 97% of the people of this country has demonstrated without any disputation, without any equivocation, that they will not support LGBTQI+. It is the absence of a specific, purposeful development policy intervention by the NDC. That is why they are resorting to this flimsy, trivial propaganda of saying that because Nana Addo has not signed the LGBTQI+ bill, when Bawumia is elected, he will support LGBTQI+. That assertion or statement is completely false, is damnable, is reprehensible, and it is never true. At the end of this presentation, we want to challenge the NDC that they should also account to Zongo stakeholders what the achievements have been from the year 1992 till now. And I don't think that they will have that temerity, that audacity, that boldness, that courage to do that, because they have non-facts to buttress, to talk about. They have zero data on Zongo to talk about. They have zero major development in Zongo to talk about. But we have demonstrated with all sincerity and without any equivocation that MPP is rather the political party in this country that likes Muslims and Zongos and non. Because any time that we are in power, we show sincerity, we show commitment, we show proof of our development within our various Zongos. All that they've been able to do is to give you a holiday. But my point on holiday is this: holiday is good. Holiday is good, but without work and pay and salaries, how do you enjoy holidays? That is why Dr. Bawumia is saying that apart from the holiday that he will grant, he will also create digitalization, 1 million digitalization jobs. 1 million digitalization related jobs for the youths in this country, and some of which will travel or travel down to the youth in all the towns. And Dr. Bawumia has also said he will elevate the status of all chiefs, including our Zongo chiefs, all pastors and imams in this country. Because the work they do is as important as the work that me, Ben Ablekuma, sitting in my office far away in the Hausa castle, also do. It is their work and our work and the work of the labor force in this country collectively that seek to promote peace and security in this country, that seek to make Ghana what it is. Without wasting your time, I want to thank you very, very much for listening to the presentation. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to make this on behalf of His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. He is number one. He is number one. He is number one. He is number one. Inshallah, January 7, 2025, His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic, will be sworn in as the President of the Republic of this country. Inshallah, inshallah. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Inshallah, it is possible. Inshallah. Bawumia, namune. Bawumia, namune. Bawumia, namune. Bawumia,
namune. Okay, so now Chairman has spoken. We've seen all the projects, and these are projects that we have projected and they are in the regions. The reason we invited the media is that we wanted the media to go independently so that you know that these are projects we have done with the Zongo Development Fund. Now, if you are a Muslim or a Northerner or a Zongo person, you know the political party that loves the people of Zongo is giving us the historical antecedents from 1980s, 79 to 1982, the people we have selected to represent the Zongo and the Muslim community. Today as I speak, hello, today as I speak, if you check the National Executive Committee of the NDC, there is no single Muslim at the head of affairs. If you check the National Executive Committee and the leadership of NDC, there is no single Muslim at the forefront. The flag bearer is a Christian, running mate is Christian, national chairman Christian, general secretary Christian, youth organizer Christian, organizer Christian, woman organizer Christian. Now, if you go to MP, if you really check, in Parliament, there used to be Haruna and Mutaka. However, magana da chama ne yanzu ka san kamar lalle party da ke so su mai gida sanadin sisi yawanci kuna an doki kolon na sararin base aka zo da shi ko har aka kai da aka kai musulmi kawai ake sawa ranar base shirki in kana son ka duba ma yau inda muke tsaye ka in ka duba NDC yau National Executive da manyan su duka ba musulmi ko guda. In ka duba wanda ke flag bearer Kirista ne. In ka duba running mate Kirista, National Chairman Kirista, National Youth Organizer Kirista, National Organizer Kirista. Duk manyan shi mutane biyu wanda suke musulmi suke fara haruna idrisu da mutaka mubarak su kuma an koma da su baya an kawo an rubuta da kirista amma cikin yadda yau kan tafiya da baya jirgin tafiya Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in ka zo cikin national executives national youth organizer sunan shi Abdulsalam Mustafa national youth organizer shi ne kuma matasa da baki daya to shi ka san kamar in ne ana magana party da ke so zango da mutanen zango shi ne Zongo Development Fund institution ne da aka kawo wanda ba wani gwamnati zai yi fiye saboda an yi wani mutum ya kai kamar idan da ya kina yin youth employment in ka koda ba gwamnati ba wanda zai yi ne kawai saboda state haka aka kawo Zongo Development Fund aka yanka musu kuɗi wanda za su yi su yi aiki da shi su ci sa wanda ke so ɗan musulmi da mutane zan da shi ne in ka duba yau national executives muna da mutane kamar uku ko hudu suna cikin national executive guda sunan ta Hajiya Rabi Salihu ita ne deputy national communications director ba ta muke magana ta so ta mun yi bayan ta ta yi magana kaɗan shehu kira sarakai suna da wani question game da abin da jama'a yi wani shi su tambaya shehu kira kuma duniya abin da yasa the reason we are inviting we invite Rabi to come and give us a brief overview of what Eman has done. Then we invite the chiefs to ask questions. After the questions from the chiefs, then the media can come in with their questions. So as a prayer,
Assalamu alaikum. Muna kawo muku gaisuwa daga National Communications Directorate. Manyan mu su yi magana kwarai, chairman mu ya yi magana. An ka kira ni in zo in taba kan maganganun da ya yi. Lokaci ya tun shike ba za a ci lokacin manyan mu sosai ba. Amma dai ya dace tun da ya yi turanci a taba wasu wuraren da ya zo ya taba muna. Kan da zai yi jama'a su samu amfanin maganan da ya yi sosai. Ya yi maganganu masu muhimmanci sosai a nan ga wuri, kuma mun gode muku da kuka samu lokaci kuka zo kuka zauna kuka saurari wannan magana. Na farko babban mu chairman mu ya yi magana game da kan da an ka fara siyasa cikin zango ko kan da ake tafiyar da siyasa cikin zango. Ya taba the difference between NPP da NDC. Abinda NPP suka fara da 'yan zangonmu da tafiyan da NDC suka kuma yi da 'yan zangonmu. Yake gwadawa cewa in ka duba tun lokacin Rawlings, His Excellency former President, gaskiya ya kawo First Eid Declaration, amma kuma cikin maganar shi ya fadi. Banda wannan, in ka duba Nana Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo, shi kuma ya kawo muna Zongo Development Fund, da kuma kyautan daukakan His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. President Kufuor kuma ya kawo muna Arabic instructor model, ya sa su under voluntary payment na. Wannan duka mun kaga an yi cikin Ghana ga. Amma aka zo ga waɗanda yau muke jin kuwa wurin su. Me yayi? Shine His Excellency former President John Mahama. Me zai gwada muna ga legacy da ya bari cikin zango. Yake cewa sun sha yus 'yan zango kamar hawiya, amma ya gode ma Allah da yanzu 'yan zango mu da kanmu mun ka gane kamar ba hawiya muke ba kuma ba mu cin kanzo. Yanzu mun kawo kristoci sun ka saya gaba, sun ka kama ma musulmai, an ka kawo namu dan uwanmu Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, shi yake gwada muna nan. Ya kuma kara ce muna kamar in ka duba aikin haji shekarun da ya wuce, an yi aikin haji sosai cikin Ghana. Yau tun 2017 aikin haji da aka fara, akwai issues in luggage ko kayan mutane da yake bacewa sosai. Yau tun da gwamnatin NPP ya karbi, wanda shi yake board chairman, ba samu wannan masuwa cikin aikin haji ba kuma. Ya kuma kara cewa wai akwai mutane 700 people waɗanda yake da sun biya kudi suna shirin su je haji, ba su samu haji sun je ba. Gwamnati gwamnatin na da Danko Akufo-Addo ya zo ya share wannan wahala an ka samu waɗannan mutane suka je suka yi hajjinsu. In ka duba kuma bashin da suka bari sun ka tashi, gwamnatin na da Danko Akufo-Addo ya zo ya gyara. Bai saya wurin ba ya kuma kara muna. Wai in ka duba aikin hajji kan da ake yin shi game ga abinci, game ga kulawa da alhazaimu, game ga transportation, game ga wurin kwana da komi alhajin da ya je haji, gwamnatin na da Danko Akufo-Addo zai gwada maka cewa hajjin tun 2017 har yau ba haji ni irin wanda ake yi cikin wanga kasa ba. Yake tambayan mu, wani NDC suka zo suka ce muna za su rage kudin haji, mu tambaye su ya za ku yi shi, su ba mu cost breakdown na, ya za ku duba wurin kwanan mutane, ya za ku duba abinci. Wannan duka yake ce mu tambaye NDC ya za ku yi booking ticket. Ba gaskiya suke ce muna za su iya rage kudin sosai ba. Lokacin ma da suke ba mu aikin haji ba mu gan shi da kyau da nasuwa kamar yau kan da muke samun haji ba. Yake gwadawa cewa yau ana magana ga gwamnatin Ghana cikin ginin sabon ultramodern Ghana Hajj Village daga airport nan, wanda yake zai sa aikin haji ya kare kyau. Ya kuma ce muna me zai sa a bar wani kamar Dr. Mahmud Bawumia wanda yake yana kishin zango, yana son ci gaban zango, ya kama ma zango, don me za a kira wadanga duka game da shi. In ka duba na farko ya fadi by act of parliament, and in ka duba parliament da manyan NDC da manyan NPP su suka zauna suka pass wannan act, yanzu Zongo Development Act na ya zama act of parliament tun 2018. Wanga duka aikin Dr. Mahmud Bawumia kenan. Yake ce maka in yazo libraries da aka gina, skurayen da aka gina, exercise books da textbooks da aka baye, dual decks da aka baye, fitilun da aka ba zangonninmu, hanyar da aka gyara ma zangonninmu, matan da aka taimaka cikin zangonninmu, waɗannan ayyuka duka wanda zai kara ya ci gaba da waɗannan ne. Ba wannan kadai ba, ya ce maka wai shi president ne Allah ya bashi wanda zai zama yana kulawa da matasa cikin zango, da ba zango kadai ba, Ghana duka baki daya. Shi yasa zai yi over 1 million IT related jobs wanda zai tara. Babanina mu duka mun san zango, mun san abin da ke tare da mu. Mun ka samu irin wanga daukaka, shi ya dace mu sa hankali wurin nan. Farko akwai waɗanda ke ra'ayi da wadancan, amma yau tun da Allah ya ba mu hanya, shi manyan mu ke tuna munan nan, mu kama mishi, mu daure mai gindi, mu bar Ghana duka su san kaman da Kristoci sun ka kama munan nan, mu kuma musulmai wai mun daure za mu kama makamu. Za mu fito mu taimaka ma Dr. Mahmud Bawumia ne, matanmu, matasanmu. Dr. Mahmud Bawumia wai kowa na cikin zuciyar shiga, shi na shi ne ya kama a samu ci gaban da ya fi wanda muke samu ga a Kabiru. Saboda shi zan saya nan ga invite questions from the media. Dama manyan mu sun zamna sun jima, za mu yi shi a takaice ku tambayi questions ku, amma kamin ku zo manyan mu da sarakan mu in suna da maganan da za su yi, za mu ba da mic nan su koro muna maganan da za su yi tukunna mu invite media nan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Sunana Idris Lamiya, former Asala coordinator da Small Advisory Constituency. Wannan program ne mai kyau da ya taimaka maka abin da ake yi. Amma na wa contribution cewa yau an yi shi daga matsayin national, wani bai san abin da aka daga kauye ne na fito ba. Bisa na warayi ne cewa in an yi da aiki on regional basis ko kuma wani choice. Thank you. My name is Hafiz.
Yes, I'm taking down for you.
Such a forum should be organized in Zongo communities like Mangobi, Nima. You go to the community and project some of the projects that the Zongo Development Fund has done in the past 7 years, so that the youth will see. Because either if you have seen the youth, or even if you look at the number here, for me it is not encouraging. And you can see like big men are here. But the election is for the youth. And the youth are in majority. Yeah, it's a Zongo community. Like how
very well.
This is a community for the youth. And tell them what is up that community connects. I suggest that this should rather go to the community rather than being organized in a plush place like this.
Consent duly noted, but before you come, my brother, this is a media engagement. Your consent is duly noted. Already the National Zongo campaign team is on the ground doing, but this is engagement of stakeholders and the media. Thank you.
All right, my name is Ablekuma. I'm going to keep rubbing you and also Radio France International respectively. And now, if you look at the forum, the name is Zongo Gaskiya Forum, accounting to the people for sustainable development. And then also beneath it, the team. There's a last words that indicate that and the promising for future. I don't know whether I've seen it, but let me
yes, for future ahead.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is what the Zongo Development Fund has done so far. Now, what is the future projection? What is in this campaign for specifically tailor-made for the Zongo Muslim community? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdullah from Central Region, precisely Abuja East. As my brother, former deputy coordinator, said from the Zongo region. This association or this forum, because we can only see it in Accra. But when it comes to our various villages, that is where the problem lies. And for me, I'm the only person from Central Region. Even I had information on one of the page of for president, and I'll do a follow up. And the elections around the corner. We cannot stay here. It's only for the national. And we don't have a police station at any national office. We have the police stations at the constituency level, electoral area level.
I think it's useful we listen to him.
We should work on what we are doing, especially now. It's a Zongo chance. We are not supposed to lose this. Please, let's send it down there. Police station, electoral area, and constituency level. Thank you.
Akhi, please, the questions are for chairman. If you could get him in. Okay. He would come in.
The questions are supposed to come from the media and not really other participants. So thank you so much for the questions. So we'll get Ajia to answer some of the questions.
Chairman is supposed to pick them. Please, the last one is tied up to the first one. And we did mention this is the stakeholder and media engagement. Your concern is well noted. I'm sure leadership will take it to other places. But for the community engagement, it's currently ongoing. The National Zongo campaign team is on the ground. The women are moving, the men are moving. We are really pushing hard to get this information out there. There was also an issue of program should be given on a projector. That's the same thing we do. Then promise for the Zongo. Chairman spoke about it. Shamuna asked, what is the promise? He is currently not there. Chairman is not there.
I don't know. The way forward is that if you check our manifesto, we have written two things. The reason you see two things in our manifesto is that when Chairman was making his presentation, he mentioned that we have a state agency that has the mandate to develop the entire Zongo. We have a Zongo Development Fund. So that Zongo Development Fund has the mandate to do everything we need within the Zongo communities. So, but we have two things that we have written in our manifesto, and that is, we said we will give additional holidays for the people of Zongo, and again, we will construct 16 senior high schools in Zongos. But I never find it now. And Karuba manifesto. Kila Karuba kacheka mama abulewa na akazana. 2016 munchi mungawa bidai kile Zongo Development Fund. Da muka ce za mu kawo mu kawo minista na abin da yake shine ya je ya zo wurin kusarakai su kai fira ya je aka set up a fund with Parliament Act 957 shine Act Zongo Development Fund. Yanzu Zongo Development Fund nan abin da aka ce yayi shine develop Zongo. Kowace shekara an ba shi 50 million Ghana cedi su develop Zongo. Cikin waɗannan kudin nan suka project ayyukan da aka yi aka nuna. So abin da ke ciki shine kowace shekara in kamar misali suka zauna board na Zongo Development Fund. In suka ce kamar ga abin da ake son a yi lokacin shi ba su mandate na su yi wayannan. Su sa abin da ke cikin nan duka wanda ke cikin Zongo Development Fund nan da shi ake aiki da shi kowace shekara. Sun samu funding sun samu komi amma specifically in our manifesto abin da muka promise shine mun ba da holiday da mu fara sa'annan kuma mun gina senior high school ne mu tashi da shi mana gobe yaro ne je gari a je makaranta ko ni ka take so shi kasa don saboda ko da yaushe cika wani silikal sun ce masa da yaran da su je su yi sallah ba su da su yi azumi da sauransu sai mun ka in ya so amma da mutum ga abu na mu ne ko mun gina to abin da yasa da kuma yace kowanne rije mun gina makaranta daya an project pictures din makarantar nan yadda aka yi shi kamar drawings da komi na nan wanda za a yi a gina makarantar nan mun samu filin nan a shantar da su ba da fili Greater Accra da akwai fili kowanne da akwai fili in ya zo abin da zai yi da shi zama da gobe kowanne ka abin da ke so shi ta saka shi makaranta kawai ba wani masala to wannan kuke so kamar yadda aka je da yara daidai 40 Cuba wanda da su a kai ashirin mata ne matan da za su zo su yi gynecology shi sabonin matan da ta je asibiti akwai yariyar da aka cire da yariyar zama wanda za ta yi mata sai ba ya samu shekara su goma duk suka zo in Allah ya da Bawumia ya zama president ya kuma je da 40 kuma kowane shekara bakwai duk an je da 40 ya so su zo su zama doktoci da sauransu. At this juncture I would like to invite the chairman to come and give us a closing remarks. But before that, if there is anyone within
let's just say chiefs
who has anything to say, or if there is any question, we can just take it from you. She's a one other question. Go Hausa or English or Ghana.
Te ba sarakuna da su duba tashi sun zauna ya da ne.
Tambaya nake da shi sannan kuma contribution. Tambaya na shi ne game da batun LGBTQ me ya hana president nan ya sa farko kenan. Sa'annan kuma ina ji idan kuka lura za ku ga kamar sarakai aka kira daga nan sarakai mafi yawa sarakai kenan kuma sarakai kamar yadda kuka sani ba a fitowa da batun politics game da sarakai akan haka nan idan muna magana kuma kun sani kuna da imani cewa kamar wanda kuka kira ga duka akwai parties daban-daban da suka zo nan alhamdulillah yayin daɗi kamar kun yi magana abubuwan da za ku yi ma Zongo idan kun kaso maganganun ku yana da daɗi kwarai abubuwan da za ku yi duka ina ce mutum wanda ke zaune in ya ci magana shi ma ya yi tunani a daga ciki amma abin da nake son gaya da yake akwai waɗansu da yake watakila ba su ra'ayi cikin fati amma ka fara kana kundin fatin wani sai ka kan taɓa mishi rai ka taɓa mishi rai lokacin na abin da kake fahim nan bai ci shi sa da kuna roƙon zai magana ku yi muna magana abin da za ku yi hankali na ɗauka ina ci shi
sun gode a wannan lokaci shi ne da wannan domin za a jefa kuriya shi ka nuna abin da kai da hankuri da wangada abin da wanda ke da shi za ku yi takara kuma ya yi shi kowa ya gani don ya inform decision sai shi wannan ne haka ne wannan haka tunda ba a zarge ba komai an nuna nuna abin da mun kai wa mutane nan. So shi mu duba Sarki Joe Louis, and then I think we can wrap up.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Sarki Seydou Louis, Chairman I also Council of the Chiefs. My Chairman I also East Council of the Chiefs. And I've been a Namu, it's going to be Shane, yo, who has a Nima, Shane of Bank Capital, Zongo, that's the whole Ghana. I'm going to do that. I've been a Namu, Shane, yo, Rosum, yeah, very deplorable. To be MC, Honorable Ajasema, the MP, Honorable Magnaza, Sumbi, then the guy goes to the other, all in vain. So she made a Mama Lefini, oh, Mesa, I go back at them. I make them okay. What is this? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Na zamani ne sarkin Abdullah Hussein Fofana ya. Na ce farko mun gode kwarai da kan ne muna aka gurgurun da abin da ba mu a MPP da kan suka kabe MPP suka fine mun gode. Amma damuwa na ne muka duba nan a yawa sun mun ga filin da muka sai kamar yara mu ce ta gama kai kamar na gobe shi ne na ce kamar ground test da kanda nan ga muka duba fitocin yara mu ce koyo aiki wurin an cicire dukansu ba su da inda za su aiki yanzu haka na ce kamar las wanda aka za ku kore su ne yan nan sakarin yanga don shi yaran nan ya za a yi su a duba a yi wani abu da su in ba haka nan ba akwai damuwa cikin su da dama kai wannan abu magana na ta.
Na gode sosai. Kaga program da ake program national ya kamata mu straight questions mu nan su presentation nan da aka yi daga nan da. Saboda inda kamar akwai MC yawanci MC ke yin aikin nan. An kira ku ne a yi project abin da muka ce za mu yi abin da muka yi. Da sa'an nan in aka jefa da Dr. Bawumia kuri'a abin da zai iya taimaka. Shi sa mun ka restrict wannan ya taimaka sosai amma na san gaba ta yi wani asibitoci daga bayan nan za a yi asibiti daga wurin.
Malawan ni contribution da zai yi ni game da malumma. Chama ya faɗi gwamnati kana kula da malumma sosai kuma wannan ne addini don mu za ya bari mu neman ilimi. Tun da gwamnati na kula da malumma ina son kara tambaya kuma saboda wasu su kara fahimta. Kamar idan Allah ya ba so gaban mu wanda za mu yi alfahari da shi saboda la ilaha illallah idan Allah ya ba shi nasara wani fanni zai yi kula da limamai da malumma don malumma suna nan biyu akwai wanda ke karanta da karatu Saturday and Sunday akwai wanda kuma everyday aikin shi ne ya karantarwa akwai wani kuma imamu na ba malamin da ke cici ba ya kamace a gane bambanci tsakanin su an samu wani board ana zama kamar kai aka samu teachers ana training before su je a doke su an samu wannan lokacin Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia don mun imanin Allah ya kawo su Allah ya kawo su
Kore sosai dama sarakan sun tambaya questions
ina gani wani gyara daga nan ka wai batun Haji Board lokacin da aka bawar sa na zai 700 over amma da kanshi da kudin atifin shi ne ya cire ya biya wannan abin Allah ya taimake shi. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Mun gode kwarai. Yanzu mun zo karshe kenan za mu kira chairman mu ya zo ya yi muna bayani kan questions da aka tambaya shi mu zo karshe wanga zama. Farko ne mun gode muku kwarai sarakunan da irin daman da kuka samu da lokacin da kuka samu kuka zo kuka zauna da mu duk wanga lokaci duka har kuka zo karshe Allah ya saka. So shi bismillah chairman. Bismillah.
Questions sarakan wani yayi magana me yasa president bai sign LGBT.
Somebody advised that we should try and let this program trickle down to the other regions of the country. So this is the maiden edition. And so the maiden edition has been commissioned, outdoors in the greater Accra region. Inshallah, the rest of the regions will also benefit. And then Shamuna Baku wants to know what specific programs or policies are there for the Zongo communities. In my presentation, I did mention Islamic senior high schools, which the Vice President has promised to build in all the 16 regions of Ghana. And there will also be the continuation and the sustainability of the Zongo Development Fund. The Vice President has promised to have a deliberate policy for job creation for the youth, and some of whom in Zongos will also be beneficiaries. I did say this in my presentation. And the Vice President has said that he will create 1 million digitalization-related jobs. We will also continue with the skills training programs that, under the leadership of the Vice President, the Zongo Development Fund has started. The Vice President has also said that we have a women's empowerment fund for our team moving forward in this country, whereby our women in this country, including our women in Zambia, will be given financial support to sustain their businesses, and for some of them to also create businesses on their own. So there are lots that we can talk about when the Vice President becomes the President that he can do for Ghana, which our brothers and sisters in the Zambos will also benefit. LGBTQI. Somebody wants to find out why the bill has not been signed. The bill has not been signed because the matter is before the Supreme Court, and there is an injunction on it restraining the President from signing. Until that is done, he can't sign. But I said that even if there is no law prohibiting LGBTQI+, once Ghana is a religious country, there is no way that LGBT practitioners can do that practice in this country. That will never happen, because all the ethnic groups in this country don't support LGBT. Muslims don't support LGBT. Christians don't support LGBT. Our traditionalists don't support LGBT. So who amongst us will have the courage to say, if he's a man, that he has gotten his fellow man, that he is taking him to the chief imam or the Sarkin Zongo for them to bless their marriage? Or which woman in this country from Zongo will have the temerity to say that she has gotten her fellow a woman and that she's taking her to Sarkin Zongo or the chief imam for the chief imam to bless their marriage? That will never happen in this country. So the issue of LGBTQI+, whether the president signing or not signing, to me is a non-issue. To me, it is a non-issue. It is not an issue at all that ought to be used for propaganda purpose. That will not bring us any development. We want what to bring us development. And who is bringing us development? His Excellency, the Vice President, because he has a track record. Somebody also said, the same person said that, why did we call only chiefs? I think that we have some imams here. But it's a piece of advice well taken. Next time, when we are organizing an event of this nature, we'll ensure that we have as many people as possible. And then the same person said that we don't need to condemn a part. No, we didn't come here to condemn any part. But we wanted to put the facts in perspective and also to do compare and contrast. Because if you go to courts and the judge seated is listening to the case and to take a decision on the matter, the judge will have to listen to both sides of the stories. Because if you don't bring the facts, some of which facts you don't even know, how do you make an informed decision to vote for party A or for party B? But when you have the bare facts, you have to tell whether MPP has done better than the NDC or NDC has done better than the MPP. It is on the basis of this that we went into history and touched on the seeming achievement of the NDC in our various levels, which we can point to now, apart from the holiday. If there is any tangible achievement that NDC has done for our Zulu people, to come out and say. That is why we are challenging them to come out and tell us with specificity what they have done for us, the Muslims and the Zulus and the Northerners, throughout their 16 stay in power in this country. And I don't think that none will be forthcoming. So we are not here to condemn anybody. And let me say it again, that the most privileged president this country has ever had is John Dramani Mahama. He's our brother, he's our fellow Lord. But the point is this: he started as an assemblyman, went to Parliament as a member of Parliament, later became a deputy minister, became a minister, became a vice president. Within the twinkle of an eye, he was the president, contested the 2012 elections, and won to become the president of this country from 2012 to 2016. If there was anything that he wanted to do for Zambia, we would have done it. That is all that we are saying. We are not saying that he's this or that, we are condemning. No, we are not condemning. But we are condemning what they didn't do for us in Zambia. Chief Sheikh also talks about Nima towns. Yes, they are bad. This is a development policy that it's a general development policy. And I know, inshallah, when Vice comes to power, now we have just less than 2 months to contest an election. And so every party is serious campaigning. So inshallah, once he says, we have taken it on board. But there is something that someone wants to know what can be done for our imams. Vice President has said that he will create government religious leaders relationship, or he will establish MPP government religious leaders relationship. This will include the chiefs, the imam, the pastors, etc. And he has said it so many times that we give allowance to our chiefs, we empower our chiefs, we empower imams and the pastors, etc. And we see that this is a means to promote the Arabic language and to make the teaching and learning of Quran and Hadith very convenient, seamless, and simple. So that if you read the Quran, you don't be tempted to give this interpretation, etc., to the meaning of the Quran. So inshallah, Ghana will be better. Ghana will be better, and Ghana will be safer. Hajj board, no, the debts left by NDC also paid by the Vice President from his pocket. No, it was paid by the NPP government. Okay, it was paid by the NPP government. Thank you very, very, very much. We are grateful to you for this opportunity, for coming, taking time out of the business schedules to be here to listen to our presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We have come to almost the end of the program, and let me introduce Alhaji Abubakar, former National Nasara Coordinator. So let's see. So I now call on Hajia Rabi, Deputy National Communications Director of the party, to give us the vote of thanks.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I am very privileged to be called upon to give the vote of thanks on behalf of the Bawumia for President 2024 through the National Zongo campaign team. We wish to tell each and every one of you that we are very grateful. The leadership is very grateful for your time. We have seen that Zongos will indeed thrive, and we are very privileged to have you here today, and we say thank you to all of you. I must say, Bawumia for President 2024 through National Zongo campaign team. Muna ce muku mun gode kwarai, manyawo mu ce muku mun gode. Allah saka da alheri, an gode da lokacin kowa, mun gode. Salamu alaikum.
Wato da muke cikin magana wani babban mace ce Hajiya da ta shigo former deputy national women organizer. Tana nan ba introduce su ba, mun shiga akin da babawa. Hajiya Sauda, bismillah, ta fito tun ta kurani ta zo. Deputy national women organizer of our party.
Sallu ala nabi karim. Jama'a at-takbir. Jama'a at-takbir. تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا انك انت التواب الرحيم. iyayen sarakuna mu ubangiji Allah ya saka muku da alheri. Muna roƙa Allah Zongo Development Fund ubangiji Allah ya saka muku da alheri. Muna roƙa Allah shugaban mu wanda ya zama sababi zaman mu wannan wuri ubangiji Allah ya kare iyaye ka. Kuma Dr. Alhaji Mahmud Bawumia wanda ya zama shugaban musulmai cikin siyasar Ghana yau. Allah albarkati la ilaha illallah da ka biya ba annabi addu'a ka karbi ma annabi lokacin da ke la ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin ka karba mai Allah ka karba da Dr. Mahmud Bawumia sallallahu la ilaha illallah. Bayan da haka wanda kuma suke taimako Dr. Mahmud Bawumia sallallahu suke cikin wani Allah ya taimake su. Sarakenmu da imamanmu da mu matasan gwamnati Allah ya sa mu kan fara wannan gwamnati. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار إن الله والملائكة يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا
1992 shi da Akufo-Addo ya lashe zaben Professor Edubon ya lashe zaben shi ya fidda Roland Alhassan Isifu as his running mate. Da muka shigo a 2000 da John Ajekum Kufuor muka fidda shi as the flag bearer of the new patriotic party. Shi ya fidda marigayi Aliyu Mama as his running mate. Shi Allah ya saya bayan mu muka win the 2000 elections. Shi suka zauna kan mulki up to 2008. Da muka lose election sannan je wurin ma a lokacin Kufuor shi ya gabatar da Arabic Instructors Program wanda aka biya masu koyarwa a makarantai mu duka a Ghana baki daya. A wannan lokacin an ba masu koyarwa guda 5,000 albashi ko allowances from 2001 to 2008. Da muka lose election in 2008, da NDC ta samu dama ta hau kan mulkin nan, shi ta soke wannan program ko ta cancel wannan program. Waɗanda suke ce kamar suna son mutanen Zango da mutane da musulmai duka baki daya, me yasa abin da zai amfanar da yan zangon da su suka zo shi suka cancel. A cikin manifestonsu na 2008 abin da suka gaya batun Zango kawai ne wai in suka win election nan za su jara yanayin waɗanda suke tashiwa a cikin mara galihu, so improve slums da sauransu. Amma da suka win 2008 to 2012 wannan promising nan ba abin da suka cika ba. Zango ba mu gan komi ba, shi suka win 2012 election. A cikin manifestinsu na 2012 for 2012 election sun ce wai sun gina TVET, Technical and Vocational Institution in Ghana, including Zango. Amma da suka hau kan mulkin nan from 2012 to 2016 ba mu gan wannan ba. It means from 2008 to 2016 for 8 years running, NDC ba su yi mayan Zango komi ba. she 2016 mu MPP muka yi alkawali mun yi alkawali cewa in Allah ya da muka win 2017 muka hau kan mulkin za mu gabatar da Zongo Development Fund da muka zo shi muka kafa Ministry for Zongo shi akan hanyar doka kuma muka kawo Zongo Development Fund wanda a yau ta yi ayyuka a bisan jagorancin mataimakin shugaban kasa guda 400 which is 400 wani abu ne yake darajawa addinin musulunci yake darajawa musulmai duka baki daya a yau muka duba ganan ga waɗanda suke da yawa shi suna young Christians in ka je cikin party na MPP Christians suke da yawa in ka je cikin party NDC ma Christians suke da yawa amma duk da wannan da mataimakin shugaban kasa yake takara 2020 flag bearership race shi da young Christians guda 9 suka je amma duk da wannan Christians nan yawancinsu sun nuna soyayya sun ba mataimakin shugaban kasa shi ya win elections nan don shi abinda muke son mu gaya takeice ne ana bin NDC ba yau ba kakanninmu sun bi NDC ba yau ba umarninmu sun bi NDC ba yau ba okay yaranmu sun bi NDC ba yau ba yan zango sun bi NDC ba yau ba from 1992 to 2020 elections ko one time an kai zabe NDC ke win amma wani abu ne suka kula ma yan zango that is the question but yan zango muna son holiday na da kyau amma muna son aiki kuma shi yasa mataimakin shugaban kasa wai hanyar da za mu yi mu magance matsalolinmu waɗanda muke fuskanta a zango shine ilimi shi yasa wai zai gina 16 model Islamic senior schools wanda kowane region duka mun karbi kasa takardunan kasar nan yayi ready feasibility studies yayi ready da wannan shekara za mu fara guda 3 domin wani yanayin da tattalin arzikin ta shiga cikin nan shi sa ba mu mun fara amma insha Allah wani yazo zai fara wannan shi ne na biyu kuma mataimakin shugaban kasa wai zai kirkiro aiki for matasa digitalization related jobs for matasan Ghana don matasan Ghana su ne tushen Ghana matasan Ghana da na zango su ne tushen Ghana domin an mutumin zango matasa ko matashiya na da aikin yi sugar da rice da milk wannan ba wani abu bane ya sai ma baban shi koko umman shi sugar and rice and so ba wannan muke bukata ba abinda muke bukata a zango a yau shine matasan su samu aikin yi abinda muke bukata a zango shine samu development a zango a nan Ghana abinda muke bukata shine deliberate specific development policy intervention kamar kan da muka kawo Zongo Development Fund muka kawo Ministry for Zongo mu duba NDC MPP for the first time in the history of this country mun samu minister for finance wanda shi ya zama musulmi Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Amin Anta for the first time in the history of this country muka samu musulma as minister for information ba da samu ba wanga dukan nan yana taimaka ma matasan zango da yan zango don in kana cikin wani gari wani unguwa wani jida wani yankin in baka da role model da za ka yi ta bin shi ko za ka yi ta kwaikwayonsa wannan yana lose ma kana lose hope ne kafanci magana na amma a yanzu da muke da vice president of the republic as a flag bearer yamin wani tsari ne na musamman da mataimakin shugaban kasa ya kirkiro ma matasan zango da limamai da maluma da kowa a zango shi yasa an kaje a America wanda ya saya ya kafa tsari ya ba bakakai a America shine Barack Obama baki wa zai tunani cewa there will be a time da za samu baki as president of USA amma an samu wannan inda ya bude musu hanya a yau Kamala Harris ita kuma baka she's contesting for election and alama na nuna cewa Kamala Harris ta yi ta win elections nan don shi muka samu wannan tsari for mu musulmai da yan zango da ya tudu nan kuma cebar komai yayi daidai magana na a takeice shine ya kamata mu gode ma makwabtanmu yan Christians nan Christians da Muslims sun zauna a wannan gari for a very long time. Suka koyo ma mataimakin shugaban kasa baya, suka supportin shi ya wani elections nan. Wai su dai sun supportin shi. Wai su dai sun jefa Korea nan su bashi. Wai su dai sun bari mataimakin shugaban kasa ya yi President of the Republic of Ghana. Don shi wai mu musulmai da yan zango kuma mu mara ma mataimakin shugaban kasa baya. Insha Allah in ya zama shugaban kasa ba abin da mataimakin shugaban kasa zai manta da musulmai ba. Don muka duba tarihi from 1957 zuwa yau ba wani president ko vice president da ya gina masallatai fiye da wanda mataimakin shugaban kasa ya gina wa musulmai ba. Mu je Kumasi Central Mosque, okay? Mu je mu duba Napran, mu je Navrango, mu je Tamale, mu je Walwala, da taimakon da mataimakin shugaban kasa ya ba wa musulmai duka baki da daya yana da yawa, amma yawanci lokaci yana wayana abubuwan nan wai yana yin shi ne domin ya samu lada in Allah ya da gobe. Bi ma'ana yana yin sa ne fi sabilillah, don shi ba abin da zai ya zo waje a bayana mutane su samu fahimta akan ba. Don shi maganar mu a gurguje shine MPP ya fi NDC in terms of Zongo Development. Don ka duba Zongo Development Fund itself nan wani abu ne ta zo ta zauna din because it is an act of parliament. Ba za a iya a soke ita ba, ba za a iya a soke ya zama doka su don ta zama da wamamme special purpose vehicle da za a use a transform yanayi da tattalin arziki na zango duka baki daya. Don shi in short nan in ka kwatanta abinda mu muka yi MPP muka yi da abinda NDC suka yi ma yan zango, they are taking yan zango for a ride ne. Don shi ya kamata mu sake hannunmu mu vote ma vice president as president. Magana na karshe ne muka duba dokanmu na Ghana, constitution mu, shi tsohon shugaban kasa ya taba zama shugaban kasa, ya taba zama shugaban kasa one term, amma vice president bai taba zama shugaban kasa ba. Don shi ina taman ya win, John Dramani Mama na da one term ne, amma in vice president in Allah ya da ya win ya yi je 8 terms. Don shi magana na koko question na shine 4 terms da 8 terms na wanda muke so.
Mun gode.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Ina mun ga taro, ina mun yawa mun kai. Musa ba da mun sani ba mun sani yau. Domin mun comparison mu duba wancan da nga kuti switch. Domin yau sarakuna mu namu ne mu duba abin da ya kamata mu yi. Yau MPP namu ne, NDC namu ne. Lokaci da shekaru wani ya kamata shi mu jefa mai. So shi abin da gwada mana yau ga mun da mu comparison mu gani which is which. Wanda kuma ya dace mana shi mu sa. So shi Allah taimake mu.
Sun fadi ababa da yawa kuma mun je office bitan kade abubuwan da suka fadi so abin da ya dace cikin shi mu gaya musu mu ma abin da muke so kenan. Kamar yanda za abin gan sarakai ana ba su ana biyan su ko ana ba su allowance ko wani abu duka advantage mu sarakai ne. Kuma banda wannan kuma an ce da gina kowane region an gina senior high school guda cikin kowane region cikin zango. To muna duban gaba Allah ya sa ya yi muna.
Kuma ya fi a sa muna da babanmu kuma ya ce kaman ga abin da dai to Allah ya bashi nasara kare sa hannu kuma yi muna abin da dai muna to abin da ni gare shi kenan. To assalamu alaikum.
Hafiz TV, unique every day.